Hey everyone, welcome once again. Today we're going to give the off-road route on this map a try. So in case you didn't see what I've done previously our attempt was to get to the other end of this map, which we have successfully done once using the road with AI, with a crappy car. It took us a little bit over an hour to do, which was ridiculous. This time around, we're not going to use the roads at all. We may cross them at some point, but we're going to go straight across them. We're not going to drive along them at all. So as soon as we leave our starting area here, we're going to get off-road, and we're probably going to go through this pit. I'm not sure. I haven't done this before. Maybe go down here, down along beside, but not on the road. And we're going to have to see what it looks like as we get down there, because it's so hard to tell from the map. But, cut across the middle of the map, under-ish the UFO without getting abducted and probed. And then up along here somewhere. And I was looking at this mountain, and I think this is going to be a very steep part. We're going to have to avoid the tips of the mountains that are not snow covered. Maybe going to the right around here might not be a bad idea. And then we want to get to our so-called mother's house up here. This is probably also going to be a long journey, hopefully not an hour long. It's going to be a very treacherous journey. It's going to require some patience, and we have picked this vehicle to do so. As you can see, drive either side to see mom. There's the name of the map. Go ahead and check it out. It's in the mod repository here, built right into the game. It's an excellent map. It's based on Journey of the Long Road, or sorry, the game called The Long Drive, roughly, loosely. And we picked this vehicle. So this thing is called the Rock Basher. We've picked the Rock Racer Edition. We haven't made any other modifications to it. I figured if we're going to go with this thing, we're going to, all or nothing. We're going to bring what I feel is the most capable vehicle for this journey. Because this is some serious business. This thing has a fairly low center of gravity. Already I'm questioning my route. Gives us the best chance of not flipping. Gives us a suspension to handle any kind of big impacts. I have a feeling we're going to be scaling some cliffs in the upward and downward direction. There's going to be rocks we have to potentially go over without getting a flat tire. This thing is pretty durable in that sense. From what I've seen, I've messed around with it a fair bit in the past, just in free roam and other maps. I don't even know where we're going at this point. So this is probably the downhill. Like, look how steep that is. I'm not going down there. I think I need to get down there, but not by going straight over the edge. I think that the route we were planning on initially would require that I backtrack already. See what I mean? This is going to be a very tedious route. I'm going to reference in the map on multiple occasions because I'm going to get completely disoriented. Of course, we have the compass up there in the top right corner, and we're probably going to make use of that. And it'll be good for you to reference too, watching this, I think. But yeah, we need to be careful. One hit on a tree, one rollover, we could rip our wheels off, we could break things. Of course, BeamNG is very strong on the simulator side of damage, and there's a very good chance that we're not going to make it to the end of this. And if we don't, perhaps we'll try again. Feel free to leave in the comments any ideas for what you want to see next, whether that be vehicle changes, map changes, different ways to get in there changes, anything you can think of. I'm open-minded. I see all the comments that you guys leave. I make sure I check them on all of my videos. So don't worry, even if I don't reply, I promise you that I see it. I want to pick up some serious speed here, but man, this is a marathon, not a race. Well, a marathon can be a race, but this one is not. We have no time set limit or anything like that. We're gonna just get there. I mean, time is a factor in life for myself, because I don't have all day long to spend driving across the map in BeamNG, and you don't probably have all day long to watch the videos. I'm trying to look in the horizon here and figure out where I'm going to go. I'm already going to reference the map. Do I want to head to the right a little bit more? Or straight where I'm going through, straight ahead from this map's perspective looks good. I think I'm looking at this cliff face here and think I need to go over it, but I think if I just kind of follow where I'm going, maybe I can hop down to the lower ground here. I think that I'll be okay. I don't think that I'll have to scale anything. I am going to stick with a third-party camera for most of it because This is just... Oh, hope you brought your nausea medication. Like, come on, that's so bumpy. So much getting shooken around. If you like the simulator part, then by all means, go play this yourself and experience that kind of thing. If I had pedals in a steering wheel, then maybe that would be a little more desirable for me. But I think that'd be terrible for you watching. There's going to be people get motion sick from that. And, you know, I'm mouse and keyboard. I'm a keyboard warrior here, so that's not really ideal for myself. Do I want to head up to the hill to my left, or do I want to continue right-ish? Right-ish a little bit for the moment. So let's not go too crazy. I'm worried about these trees. I don't like going through the trees. Once we get to the next area, we'll build to the desert. We should hopefully build a... Don't hit that tree, please. Should be able to pick up a little bit more speed because it's going to be a little more flat, a few less obstacles. But I mean, there's still going to be cactuses fairly often throughout there. There's going to be those rocks. I don't think they're going to be an issue for this, but maybe. Especially if we start sliding sideways and catch something. And the desert isn't exactly perfectly smooth. Even aside from the rocky bits sticking up. I don't know what they called the big stones, the really tall ones, the size of large buildings. I think there is still going to be quite a few oscillations, I suppose, in the ground that we need to consider as an issue. We need to respect them. At the very least, they will upset our vehicle and flip us over. At least there's not little tree stumps everywhere through here that I need to worry about hitting that I would completely miss and just slam into while I'm flying through the grass. I think I'm going northeast right now. I think that's what I need to do. I think Mother's house is kind of on the northeast-ish, roughly corner of the map. I can check it, I guess. Luckily, the map does pause things, so that's kind of handy. But yeah, absolutely, I'm heading the right direction. I want to go into the desert through here, though. I don't want to go across this rocky surface. But I think once I get maybe down here past all these, the rocky-ish areas up here, hopefully things will smooth out a bit and I'll be able to choose my route a little bit more as opposed to just kind of going where the terrain lets me go. I wonder what's going to be over top of this hill. Let's see what we see. I mean, obviously we have the map to go by, but there's so much more that the map does not tell us. Okay, I'm planning a route. I'm sticking with the low ground for now. Doesn't look too bad. I need to be careful. I want to give her through here, but I really can't. I'm just worried about the vehicle getting upset and me eating it into a tree. I mean, this game, I'm assuming most of you are very familiar with it at this point, but the damage model in this is ridiculous. It's so simulated. It's wonderful. Look at how far that is. If that doesn't give you an idea of how far we have to go, then I don't know what will. I'm going to be selfish here for a second and make you guys wait while I get an image for potentially the screenshot for the video. That's absolutely an insane view. Can you imagine that view in real life? Imagine waking up to that. Holy, that's a problem. I hit the brakes there and just about did a front flip. Okay, that really tells me that I need to be so careful with slowing down this hill. I will just flip the thing. If I go to the left here a little bit, I can see there's kind of a trench that's forming. I don't know if being that is a good idea or a bad idea. I'm just trying to keep my speed in check now. If I start hitting these bumps at high speed and losing control, I can't slow down very well because the vehicle in a lot of these areas wants to do a front flip. Or should I go to the right a little bit more? It looks a little bit more flat. Maybe that's a better idea. I'm just coasting at this point and tapping the brakes, as you can see from my brake lights. Keeping the brakes warm. Brake temperature on the bottom left there, so you can really tell how that temperature gets up when I'm braking. You can see how much strain those front brakes are as opposed to the rear. Given that the rear of the vehicle... Ooh, here's some big bumps. The rear of the vehicle I'm in a trench now. The rear of the vehicle is coming off the ground half the time I hit the brakes, so there's not really a whole lot of strain there. Yeah, I found my own trench here, it seems. And I'm glad... Ooh. I'm glad that I brought a vehicle with some suspension that can handle this kind of stuff. I'm trying to do this in, say, a little sunburst, especially if it wasn't some off-road version, or even if it was some off-road version. I'd probably just be slamming the suspension to its bottom the entire time, into the hard stops, and just mangling the vehicle in every way possible. And I absolutely love this game for how all those things are simulated. You know, being able to bend the frame slowly over time, things buckling, being able to damage your suspension, making your wheels a little bit cockeyed and bent. Very similarly to how it would be in real life. It's the most realistic vehicle game I've ever seen in my entire life. And this game, having been around, I don't even know how long, probably a dozen years, close to it. Maybe not quite a dozen years, but very close to it. It is incredible. This game has come so far. When I first bought the thing, when it was released to the public, it looked not as nice. It was a lot plainer. It was still a very cool game, very similar damage physics, but you didn't have vehicles that looked so polished, such as this thing. When this thing came out, I feel like that was really the beginning of the turn of a new leaf for the visual appearance of this game. You know, I think when I bought it, it was probably... Let's pick up some speed. Ooh, it's risky, but let's do it. I think it was probably just developed by a couple people. Very, very small studio. Still a very, very small studio now, but... Is that a big rock? No, it's fine. It's definitely... You know, there's more people behind it now, for sure. I wonder how that studio is doing financially selling this game. I hope they're still selling a lot of copies, because I would hate to see this game not get developed anymore. And given that they are still working on a campaign, and they're still pushing out regular updates, doing all that stuff, I have to assume they're okay. I have no idea what kind of money a game development studio makes these days, or what kind of copies they're selling. But clearly, everybody knows about... A lot of people know about this game. And, that's a really good sign for them. That's amazing. That tells me they've sold a lot. I am going the right direction. I could see the UFO on the horizon, which I think if I head straight towards that, I'll be okay. I'll just miss the edge of these rocks here. I'm kind of nearing the desert. So, what are we, like 15 minutes in? Something like that? I don't even know. I didn't look at the time. Again, I really should get into the habit of that. I'm going to stay to the right a little bit here. If anything... I still need to be careful with my speed a little bit. Get some air here. I just... Like, the bumps such as that aren't... I'm not worried about them breaking the car directly too much. It's just... You know, getting launched and landing sideways and rolling the thing. That's what's going to do us in. This is really an endurance type of thing. I want to give her across this desert so bad. I want to just put my foot to the floor. But it's so hard to read what kind of oscillations are coming up. I'm so worried we're going to roll the thing. I mean, this thing is a rock racer, after all, so it's made for rough terrain. But every vehicle has its limitations, right? Let's head towards the UFO a little bit more, I think. I think that's what we want to do, right? Where do we want to go up on the far side? Is there... So there's the UFO. Yeah, I don't think it really matters too much. We're going to have to kind of push ourselves to the right there a little bit. So maybe the right side of this rock and go up through here somewhere. We'll have to see when we get a little closer. Oh. All the bushes and everything spawned back in. That kind of caught my attention. I'm hoping these are all bushes and not big rocks. Like I see the little rocks. They're not an issue. I don't know if they even have hitbox still. I still haven't found out. I really should, because I've questioned that so many times now. I don't see my suspension traveling when I go over them. So I'm going to say no, they don't have hitboxes. Hopefully. But I definitely don't want to find out if I start sliding across them. If I get a puncture in this thing, there's so much rubber. The rubber to rim ratio is high. So I've got to be a little bit careful. There's the UFO. I don't want to go under its beam by accident. That's why I was looking. Yeah, there's the green beam. We're going to avoid that. No more abductions, please. That happened in the first video. We don't need that again. Keeping the camera up a little bit higher because I want to see what's coming up ahead. This view isn't too bad at this point. Look how smooth it is for now. Am I going to be caught off guard when that suddenly changes, though? Oh, yeah, I need to be careful. I think I need to go to the left of this. That only makes sense to me. Unless this is the one I said I wanted to go to the right of. I don't think it is. I think we're okay. I think we're just fine. I'm looking off in the distance now at that mountain. If we go straight ahead to where we are, I think we'd be okay. Let's look at the map again. Let's plan our route. So straight ahead. Yeah, straight ahead takes us right over to here. That's what we were thinking. So we're going to head over in that direction. Somewhere on that part of the horizon. Should be okay. I think as long as we're a little bit smart about it, it'll be fine. This vehicle so far is handling this so great. I'm worried about this mountainous area up here. So far we've had lots of hills, but we haven't had the mountains. If we succeed at completing this mission in this vehicle, then maybe next time we'll try, if you guys want to see it, let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll try something a little bit less forgiving, but I have a feeling that this is only the easy part that we've gone through so far. I have a feeling that this vehicle was not really easy mode that we brought. I think, ooh. Oh, there's our first slam on the suspension. I think this is still going to prove to be very difficult. I think this part, from what I've seen driving through it before, on previous attempts where we took the road, this is going to be very bumpy. This is going to be possibly rocky. Yikes. Ooh. Yeah, there's still issues. Maybe something that could be interesting in the future. Yeah, these rocks are a little bit bigger, I think. I don't know if they have hitboxes still. But I think that something we could do in the future is perhaps time our journey and see how quickly we can cut across the route like this. Do the off-road edition, especially with a time trial. It could be entertaining. Let me know what you think. Please, let me know everything. Everything you want to see. I am definitely open to your suggestions. Even the wintry areas there still look so far away. And look at how far we've traveled. Just a ridiculous distance. This vehicle's handling like a champ. Engine temperature is fine, as I would expect it to, given that this is basically, you know, an off-road race car. It should be able to handle a little bit of full throttle time. We're holding lots of fuel still. Not an issue whatsoever. Okay, here comes the rocks. Here comes the rocks. This is where things get a little bit scary, especially if I can't see the rocks appear on the horizon or in front of me over top of little hills and whatnot. We could absolutely take out a tire and end our journey quickly. I just pitched the camera up a little bit higher there so I could see what's coming up a little bit better. Is this the road we're about to cross? It must be. Yeah, so there's the road. Okay. We're just going to get across there. Is there anything... I just wanted to see if there's any landmarks for us to reference from our journey. Not a whole lot. Look at that. That's so cool. I love the view like that. I want to go to a place such as that and see the sights. I think it's incredible. As a Canadian myself that lives in not so much of a mountainous area, doesn't have a whole lot of area like that. Unless I want to travel up north, somewhere I want to go is out west, and I had an opportunity to a couple years ago, but well, let's just say life happened, and that did not happen, which is really, really unfortunate. But what are you gonna do about it, right? Someday, maybe when the economy isn't completely garbage too, that'll be a little more doable. Anyway, okay, we're transitioning to the snowy area. I don't know what this is going to do for our traction. I don't expect traction to be an issue in this vehicle. I mean, have you seen the tires on it? I'm kind of sliding a little bit here, trying to get an idea of what kind of traction we had so that I know when I'm going up a hill at an angle and sliding towards trees. I can feel that there is a little bit of slipperiness going on here. Like I'm sliding around a little bit, but it's not ridiculous. We'll be able to handle it. Let's reference our map real quick here. We are getting close. Wow, I think we're making good time on this. It feels like we're making good time. It feels like this is definitely the quicker route compared to zigzagging through, especially on those slow cars we took before. I wouldn't mind taking a race car of some sort down the streets there and seeing how quickly we can do it. I think that could be entertaining on its own, even without traffic. Maybe with traffic would be better. With traffic would be so risky at high speeds. There's so much there to crash into. But at least we could properly overtake stuff in a vehicle that has, you know, better than a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 23 seconds. Like in that other car. But as I've said 4 times already, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you think's exciting. I'm here to please to some extent. At least we don't have these big boulders around anymore. We don't have to worry about hitting those. Those didn't last very long on this map, did they? Maybe we should have brought a vehicle that would be more difficult to take. Or maybe we got lucky with the route we took. I expected this to be way harder than it was. But we also have the most forgiving off-road vehicle that is probably in the game. I mean, we could take something that's more top-heavy next time. Or we could take something that can't absorb all the big bumps next time. Or we could be forced to take a different route. That could probably spice things up. But I think if we took a less forgiving car, then this route would be plenty hard still. Where are we? Where is Mom's house? Okay, so can we see that? If we follow this ridge, where's my mouse? If we follow this ridge along here and just kind of stick to the right of this mountain, that should take us pretty much right to Mom's house. I'm worried this is going to be very steep. If we were over here, it absolutely would be. But let's see. Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we see. I don't like these blind crests. Going over the blind hills. You don't know what's going to be over there. You don't know if it's going to be a big drop down. You don't know if it's going to be a little tree hiding there, waiting to end your day. Oh, man. See, like this one, I could just ramp it so fast. It would be a lot of fun. But I'm trying to be cautious. I'm trying to just get to the end. Trying not to die. We're doing alright. We are doing alright. Whee! Alright, this is the mountain on the left here that we are trying to go around. As long as we stick to the right of that, we should be okay. We don't want to go too far to the left. Careful with the speed and the bumps. Because I don't want to be going on a side-to-side incline. Ooh. Oh, bit of a slam. It's fine. This thing can handle that. Okay, we're fine. We've only bottomed out the suspension on this thing a couple times during this entire journey, so we're okay. Everything still feels like it's working nicely. Everything is still aligned properly. I mean, it's hard to tell when you're on a hill, but nothing seems wrong. I love this vehicle so much. It's such a capable vehicle. Another minute here and we'll have to double check the map to make sure we're not overshooting Mom's house. It would suck to go way too far and have to backtrack. Ooh. Oh! Okay, we took a tiny bit of damage there, but I think it's just superficial. Can we just climb over here? I want to see if we can see anything from up here. Not really. Not like we expected. No sign. Oh! I think I see the house right there. I think we're pretty much there. Let's go. Let's go see our mom. I think Dad still lives there? Or did Dad disappear one day? You know, he had to go to the store and get milk or something, and you know how that story goes. Hopefully you don't know how that goes firsthand, but There's some rocks here. Okay, it's getting rocky again. Careful, don't flip it into the tree. Don't flip it into the rocks. Where'd that house go? I can't see it anymore, unless we just saw rocks. Did we just see rocks and we thought that was the house? That's a possibility. Did we overshoot the house? Oh, ooh. Okay, we're checking the map. Where is it? Are we close? Oh, we overshot it. Maybe we did see the house and we just blatantly overshot it. So the road should be up this way. I think I can see where the road is. We won't go on the road still. That's a rule. Uh-oh. It's a rule we have to follow. Can we get back on our wheels without node grabbing? I like to avoid that. Let's throw on the front diff lock. We're spinning. As long as we don't break a wheel off or turtle ourselves like this. We are also hurting our engine, being upside down. Can we roll? We're gonna have to node grab, I think. I'm trying to get the thing rocking, but it's not really working out. We're just hitting the front part of the frame on the ground before the wheels are touching. Okay, we're node grabbing. We're cheating a little bit. That's what we get for being a little bit. Look at this terrain. Like, that's ridiculous. That's not what did it, but hitting stuff like that, it's ridiculous. Our vehicle's still fine. We slightly cheated, but let's face it, we were basically there. We clearly had no problems making it with this vehicle. Oh! Unless we do stuff like that. See what I mean about the rocks being scary? The only issue that we can have here is my driving ability. Next time we do this, if you guys want to see it again, let me know. We will have to definitely pick a vehicle that will be harder to take along all this terrain. Maybe like the Sunburst Off-Road Edition or something of the sort. You tell me. And here's our mother's house. Here is our mother's bed. That's terrible. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.